Hello and welcome back to Vox Syreni Unboxings, and today we are looking at X Record, the what's it called? The new booster BT9 came out a couple of days ago by the time this goes up. Yeah. Um I guess we'll just dive right in. This booster is themed around the X-Antibody storyline, which was like a story told by toy manuals back in the day. I think there's a manga now. I don't know a lot about this particular storyline. I know a lot about Digimon, but this is one I'm honestly kinda in the dark about. So I may not have as many things to say about the cards and references in here. Regardless, I will get into it. Oh no, I did not mean to. Oh, that's the end of it, okay. I ripped it ever so slightly, that's too bad. But yeah. Anyways, our box topper today is Puyoyoman, the baby form of Jellymon from Ghost Game. Your turn. Once per turn, when an effect adds a card to your hand, this Digimon gets plus 1000 DP for the turn. This is actually a decent card in Weemon decks for what that's worth. Because they have effects that goes off when you have enough cards in your hand. And here we have an update pack with 2 cards in it, which is promo pack. Oof, let's get in here and see what promos we get. We get Wagarumon Sagittarius mode. Digivolve 0 from Wagarumon. The name of this Digimon is also treated as Wagarumon. When Digivolving, if you have a team in play, return 2 of your opponent's level 3 to their owner's hands. If you have a team in play, return 2 of your opponent's level 3 Digimon to their owner's hands. Inherited all turns when this Digimon has Garurumon or Omnimon in its name and would be deleted in battle. You may trash 2 cards of the same level in this Digimon's devolution cards to prevent that deletion. Not bad. And we get Boutmon. Your turn when this Digimon would Digivolve into a card with Shaman or Wizard in its trait. You may trash up to 3 cards from the top security stack. For each security card trashed this way, reduce the devolution cost by 1. That's interesting. High risk, high reward. If you have 3 security cards, unsuspend this Digimon. That's also interesting. That's a really cool promo card. Not gonna lie. So yeah, that's promos. Gonna move them over to the side for now. And yeah, let's dive right into the first booster. First card is a yellow Toyagumon. And Mimi Dekachimon, Crabmon, a Geysermon X-Antibody, which has the X-Antibody ability, can devolve for free on a Geysermon. And then it has when Digimon trash the top 3 cards of your deck. A Bearmon. Interestingly, this is here because of the Tri storyline, and it's one of the adult characters that was one of the original DGs. I don't remember his name right now. Was his partner. He's a black tamer, so that's why there's like a black Bearmon line, but all of them are vanilla, sadly, so it's not like he gets his own deck, which would have been cool. Ground Fang. Return one of your opponent's suspended Digimon and one of their unsuspended tamers to the bottom of their owner's deck. Interesting. Way to get rid of tamers. Starmon, also vanilla. Kokuamon X-Antibody has the X-Antibody effect, and on play or when devolving, reveal the top 3 cards of the deck, add 1 card with Insectoid or Machine in its traits, and 1 X-Antibody among them to your hand. Place the rest at the bottom of the deck in any order. Tokumon X-Antibody. Inherited. When a card is added to your security stack, one of your opponent Digimon gets minus 1000. It's okay. Maki Himekawa, this is also one of your original DD decks, and it's quite a tragic figure. I'm not going to get into that because of spoilers, but watch try. If you like Digimon Adventure, watch try. On play, reveal the top 3 cards of the deck, add 1 Spearmon and 1 2-color black card from among them to your hand. Place Place the rest at the bottom of the deck in any order. When one of your Digimon would Digivolve into a 2-colored black Digimon card, you may suspend this Tamer to reduce its evolution cost by 1. So this is interesting. Let me see here. How many comments do we get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we get 3 UR. 7. So that means we get 1 uncommon more than in previous boosters, but 1 less common. That's interesting. That's probably gonna be it going forward. Can't say that I'm complaining. That's nice. When you would use this card, Vox Syreni, when you use this card, if you have a Digimon with X-Antibody in its Digivolution cards, in play reduce the memory cost of this card by 2. Okay. Delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 13 or less DP. Then one of your Digimon with Greymon in its name may attack your opponent. Ooh, that's pretty neat. And we got Cool Boy. He is the antagonist for the X-Antibody line and one of the heroes' brother. And that's about all I know about him. His effect is on play, reveal top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 Digimon card with X-Antibody in its traits, and 1 option card with X-Antibody in its traits among them to your hand. Place the rest at the bottom of the deck in any order. During your turn, when one of your Digimon Digivolves into a same level Digimon with X-Antibody in its trait, you may suspend this Tamer to gain 1 memory to draw 1 card. So that's not bad. Clearly meant to be played with the X-Antibody deck. His partners, I believe, is X-Antibody Garurumon and X-Antibody Greymon, if I remember correctly. I checked his Wikipedia page. Again, I don't know anything about this storyline. Sorry. I know that I usually am a well of Digimon trivia, but this here is obscure stuff and it's getting its own booster. So, you know. Grisdemon, the evolved form of Kumon and also Vanilla. Pillarmon, players can't play Digimon by effects. Eye of the Gorgon. Delete one of your opponent's unsuspended Digimon. If you do, you may play 1 purple level 3 Digimon card from your trash without paying memory cost. Any unplay effects on this Digimon does not activate. Players can't play Digimon by effects. So that's like the same as Pillarmon. I guess there's a bunch of these. Probably 1 for each what's called color. Loader Leomon, which is the ultimate form of Bearmon. Loader Leomon technically also has the Lylemon line, but in terms of the Tri reference, it's from the Bearmon line. Sangloopmon. This Digimon may inherit it. When attacking, this Digimon may Digivolve into Digimon with undead or dark animal in its traits from your trash for its Digivolution cost. Cool, that's actually quite useful, actually. Huh. Divermon. Puyoyomon, we already read that its effect. Atomic Megaloblaster, choose any number of opponent's Digimon whose total DP adds up to 10,000 or less and then delete them. X-Antibody. While you have Digimon in play, you may use this card without meeting its color requirements. Interesting. Security, gain 1 memory and add this card to your hand. Main, place this card under one of your Digimon without X-Antibody in its Digivolution card as its bottom Digivolution card. Okay, so this is an X-Antibody Digivolution card. Also, its effects can't trash X-Antibody in this Digimon's Digivolution cards. That's good against blue. When attacking, this Digimon can Digivolve into a Digimon card with X-Antibody in its traits in your hand for its Digivolution cost. Interesting. Mad Easter and Sora Takenuchi. If you have 8 or more cards in your hand, gain 1 memory. If your opponent has 8 or more cards in their hand, gain 1 memory. Your turn, when one of your blue or red Digimon becomes unsuspended, you may suspend this Tamer to return one of your opponent's level 3 Digimon to their hand. And we have our first secret rare. Okay, so the first high rare this time around is the secret rare. Death X-Mon. When you would play this card, reduce its memory cost by 3 for each Digimon and Tamer your opponent has in play. On play, when Digivolve and Digivolve all your opponent's Digimon, then delete all of your opponent's level 4 lower Digimon. End of your opponent's turn, once per turn, delete all of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest play cost. So that's nasty. So let's see here. And that thing is what's called, I believe was relevant with Yellow Hybrid, if I remember correctly. I don't play competitive that much at all. I don't take tournaments, so correct me if I'm wrong. Has the X-Antibody ability. It's Gatomon X-Antibody. It's inherited is when attacking. If you have 3 or more security cards, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 2000 DP for the turn. Startling Thunder! Return one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon to their hand. Then if you have Digimon with Jellymon in its name, or with Jellymon in its Digivolution cards, return one of your opponent's tamers to its owner's hand. Interesting. Growlmon X-Antibody can Digivolve from Growlmon. Has inherited add 1000 to the maximum DP you could use with DP-based deletion effects. Congo. Until the end of your opponent's turn, your opponent Digimon with play cost 7 or less can attack players, and cards can't be added to the security stacks by opponent's effect. Elecmon Vanilla. Attack of the heavy mobile Digimon. You may trash one card with Cyborg or Machine in its traits in your hand to have all your level 6 Digimon with Machine in their trait gain Rush. And unplay if this Digimon has the Digivolution cards with Blitz. Okay, you can trash one card with Cyborg Machine in traits. All of your level 6 Digimon with Machine in the trait gains Rush. And unplay if this Digimon has Blitz for the turn. I don't understand. Like, okay. I can trash a Cyborg or Machine from my hand. My level 6 Digimon then gains Rush. That's cool. They also gain unplay if this Digimon has a Digivolution. Oh, no. Oh, there's a comma here that I'm missing. Okay, so if it has Digimon with a Digivolution, if it has this Digivolution card, it also gets splits. Gotcha. I need to read that a couple of times. Security, you may trash one Digimon card with Cyborg or Machine and traits in your hand to delete one of your opponent's Digimon whose play cost is less than or equal to the trash card's play effect. This is really good in machine run decks. Tesla Jellymon. End of attack. Once per turn, you may trash 2 cards in your hand to unspend this Digimon. Maybe I should make a Jellymon deck? Sounds like fun. Raidenmon. Main, if you have a Digimon in play with Justimon or Raidenmon in its name, you may pay 1 memory to place this card under the Digimon as its bottom Digivolution card. When default, you may trash one Digimon card with Machine or Cyborg in traits in your hand to have one of your opponent's Digimon get minus 4000 DP for the turn. As inherited, when attacking one of your opponent's Digimon, gets minus 4000 for the turn. Okay. Okuamon X-Antibody. Oh, that looks nasty. Can you devolve from Okuamon for free when devolving? If Okuamon or X-Antibody is in this Digimon's Digivolution card, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. Then, if this Digimon is attacking, you may switch the target to a target of attack to one of your opponent's suspended Digimon. Your turn. When this Digimon would Digivolve into a Digimon with Insectoid trait, reduce its cost by 1. Okay. Suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. Then, if this Digimon is attacked, you may switch the target of attack to one of your opponent's suspended. Interesting. So that means if you evolve it with something that can evolve it while attacking, you can switch target. That's interesting. I don't know when that will be relevant, but I guess it must have a way to be relevant. Metal Impulse. Trash up to 3 cards in hand. For each card trashed by this effect, devolve one of your opponent's Digimon. Then delete one of your opponent's level 4 lower Digimon. Interesting. Magnetron X-Antibody. This is rare. But also it's very fancy. I wonder if this is like an alternative art, potentially. Devolve one Magnetron. When devolve, if Magnetron or X-Antibody in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, all of your opponent's Digimon and security Digimon gets minus 1000 DP for the turn. For each card in your security stack. End of attack. Once per turn, you may add the top card of your security stack to your hand to unspend this Digimon. Okay, cool. I'm gonna put it here because I think it's an alternate art with its full art spread there. So even though it's rare, I would assume it goes in the special pile. Okay. Moving in here. Def X Digivolution. While you have a Digimon with X-Antibody in its traits in play, you may use this card without meeting its color requirements. You may devolve one of your Digimon into a Digimon with Dex or Def X in its name for the trash for its memory cost. That's interesting. Samuelmon. This card is from Crosswars, one of the Death Generals, interestingly, and it is a vanilla card, sadly. Would have been cool if it had an effect. I wonder how big this Samuel one is, because in Crosswars he can shrink with Digihoney, I think. But he's apparently really huge when he's not shrunken. Tama Dekatiman. Dark Superstarman. Garurumon X-Antibody. When this Digimon has Garurumon and Omnimon in its name and would be deleted in battle, you may trash 2 cards of the same level in this Digimon's evolution cards to prevent that deletion. Interesting. Tapirmon, while this Digimon has 2 or more colors, it gets plus 1000 DP as inherited. Greymon X-Antibody, inherited. All turns when this Digimon has Greymon or Omnimon in its name, an effect would delete it in its name, and an effect would delete it or return to your hand or deck. You may trash 2 cards of the same level in this Digimon's devolution cards to prevent it from leaving play. 2 cards of the same level. What does that mean? One, this Digimon has Greymon or Omnimon in its name. An effect would remove this card from the field. You will trash 2 cards of the same level in this Oh, so that means if you Digivolve from Greymon to a Greymon X-Antibody, then Digivolve to a level 5, it has 2 Greymons in its Digivolution, which are both level 4, which means they're the same. So you can use okay, I get it. Need an extra read. Can Digivolve from Doro Greymon, Dex Doro Greymon. When Digivolve, you may trash 1 card with Dex or Def X in its name or X-Antibody in its trait in your hand to gain 1 memory. When Digivolve, this card has Doro Greymon in its Devolution cards or is Digivolving from the trash, delete one of your opponent's level 4 lower Digimon. Omni Sharpman X-Antibody. Interesting, Omni Sharpman has an X-Antibody. Blitz, of course, when Digivolving it gets Blitz. Your turn, when this Digimon has Omni Sharpman or X-Antibody in its Devolution cards, this Digimon can also attack your opponent's unsuspended Digimon. Oof, that's strong. Multimon! While this Digimon has Insectoid in its trait, it gets plus 1000 DP, that's not bad. Metal Storm! When you would use this card, if you have a Digimon with X-Antibody in its Devolution cards in play, reduce the memory cost of this card by 2. Return one of your opponent's level 6 or lower Digimon to its owner's hand, then unsuspend one of your Digimon with Garurumon in its name. Ooh, that's also powerful. Rise Greymon X-Antibody. When Digivolve, you may play 1 yellow or red tamer from your hand without paying its memory cost. Then if Rise Greymon or X-Antibody is in this card's Devolution cards, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 2000 DP for the turn, for each yellow or red tamer you have in play. For each tamer you have in play, this Digimon gets plus 1000 DP. Cool. Next booster. Epidramon. Salamon X-Antibody. When Digivolve, look at the top card of your security stack, and you may add it to your hand. If you do, recovery 1. Cool. Ninjamon. My Crackmon Vicious Mode. On play or when Digivolve, you may trash 1 card in your hand. If you trash a purple card, delete one of your opponent's level 3 Digimon. If you trash a yellow card, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 3000 DP for the turn. Inherit on deletion, if this Digimon has 2 or more colors, gain 2 memory. Raptordramon. Inherited end of attack, if this Digimon has Alphamon in its name, delete one of your opponent's Digimon play cost 5 or less. Interesting. Is Raptordramon one of the natural evolution forms of Alphamon? I thought Alphamon came from Doromon's line. Guess. Interesting. Chaos Gamamon. This Digimon can't be blocked. Cool. Quackmon X-Antibody. Inherited, your turn. While this Digimon is Insectoid in its traits, it gains piercing. Not bad, not bad. Tokomon X-Antibody. Panjamon X-Antibody. Treat this card Digimon as if it also has Leomon in its name. When this Digimon would be deleted in battle, you may play 1 Leomon from this Digimon's Devolution cards without paying its memory cost. Gabumon X-Antibody. On play, when Digimon, reveal the top 3 cards of the deck, add 1 card with Garurumon or Omnimon in its name, and 1 X-Antibody from among them to your hand. Place the rest of the bottom deck in any order. Greatmon. When Digivolving, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 card with Alphamon in its name among them to your hand, and place 1 card with X-Antibody in its traits among them under this Digimon as its bottom Digivolution card. Trash the rest. End of turn. If this Digimon has Alphamon in its name, delete one of your opponent's Digimon when play cost 5 or less. Interesting. Grandest Scissor. Suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, then unsuspend one of your Digimon with Insectoid in its traits, and it may attack your opponent's Digimon. Interesting. Getting into next booster. Awakening of the Golden Knight. While you have a Digimon with armor form in its trait in play, you may use this card without meeting its color requirements. That's pretty cool. Sorry about that. I'm gonna turn that audio off. I don't know if you heard that, but I got pinged on, I think, Discord. I forgot to turn that off. You may Digivolve one of your Digimon with armor form in its traits in this Digimon's card with Magnemon in its name. You may in its name in your hand. Okay, you may Digivolve one of your Digimon with armor form in its traits into a Digimon with Magnemon in its name in your hand, ignoring its Digivolution requirements and without paying its memory cost. The Digimon that Digivolve with this effect can't have its DP reduced by your opponent's effects until the end of your opponent's turn. Interesting. Secure to return 1 card with Magnemon in its name from your trash to your hand and add this card to your hand. Ooh, that's a powerful security effect, alright. Piranimon has Rush. Matadormon. When attacking, you may trash a card with Undead or Dark Animal in its traits in your hand to have this Digimon get plus 3000 DP for the turn. During a turn with this Digimon with Digivolve into Digimon card from the trash reduces the Digivolution cost by 1. That's pretty good. Monochromon, it has blocker, you lose free memory if you attack with it. Mill Piranimon, when attacking you may play 1 Digimon card with Piranimon in its name from this Digimon's Digivolution cards without paying its memory cost. X-Antibody Leomon. All turns when this Digimon would be deleted in battle, you may play 1 Leomon from its Digimon Digivolution cards without paying its memory cost. So this is a Leomon that basically has an extra hit point. That's kind of funny, considering the fact that Leomon has a tendency to die. How to make Leomon better? Give him an extra hit point. Flare Rock Soul. Delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 5000 DP or less, then you may Digivolve one of your Digimon into a Digimon card with Shoutmon in its name in your hand for its Digivolution cost. Oh, so this is the X-Antibody attack for Shoutmon. Interesting. Delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 5000 or less DP. That's the security effect. Dex Dorugamon. When Digivolve, you may trash 1 card with Dex or Def X in its name or X-Antibody in its trait from your hand to gain 1 memory. When Digivolve, is this Digimon as Dorugamon in its Digivolution cards or Digivolving from the trash, one of your Digimon gains blocker and retaliation. Oh, that's nasty. Guilmon X-Antibody. When Digivolve, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 3000 DP. Inherited, add 1000 to the maximum DP you can choose with DP-based deletion effects. Meiko Mochizuki. On play, you may reveal top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 purple or yellow Digimon card from among them to your hand. Trash the rest. Also, when you play a 2-color purple and yellow Digimon, you may suspend this Digimon to gain 1 memory. Wergarumon X-Antibody. When Digivolving, unsuspend this Digimon, then if Wergarumon or X-Antibody is in this Digimon's Digivolution cost, return one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon to its owner's hand. Takeru Takeshi and Issei Izumi. Still annoys me with that name. His name is Koshiro Izumi. Since Issei is the nickname based off his last name, it should be Koshiro Issei, not Issei Izu. It annoys me. Start of your main phase. If you have level 5 or higher Digimon in play, gain 1 memory. If your opponent has a level 5 or higher Digimon in play, gain another memory. Or gain 1 memory. Your turn, when one of your Digimon evolves into a yellow or green Digimon, you may suspend this Digimon to have one of your opponent's Digimon get minus 1000 DP until the end of your opponent's next turn. Okay, that's useful in both yellow and green. In yellow because you can reduce the opponents to 0. In green because you can spend Digimon a lot, so if you are not strong enough to kill something, then that might just make the difference. And then you just spend an attack. Salamon Purple. Interesting. On play, reveal the top 4 cards of your deck, add 1 true color purple card from among them to your hand. Place the rest above your deck in any order. Interesting, you can revolve the yellow X-Antibody Salmon from this purple Salmon. And the fact that the Salmon can also evolve from what's called yellow Digimon means that it has potential there. I'm not sure if that would be good. It might hurt consistency. Or it depends if all your champions are like purple yellow Digimon anyways. But yeah, interesting. X Digivolution. While you have a Digimon with X-Antibody in its traits in play, you may use this card without meeting its color requirements. Reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. You may develop one of your Digimon into a Digimon card with X-Antibody in its traits among them without paying its memory cost. Trash the rest, then place one card with X-Antibody in its trait from the trash under one of your Digimon with X-Antibody in its traits as its bottom Digivolution cards. That's really good. Security. You may reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add one card with X-Antibody in its traits among them to your hand. Trash the rest. Another Ground Fang, Crabmon, Bearmon, Mimikachi, Toy Agumon, Megadramon, which is actually the ultimate form of the Piermon, which is the partner of Himekawa. So yeah, kind of like how Bearmon is the partner of her boyfriend or ex-boyfriend or whatever. Megadramon, when Digimon delete one of your opponent's Digimon with or Tamers with play cost 3 or less. When attacking, if this Digimon has Machine on Dragonkin in its traits, delete one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers with play cost 3 or less. Anti-Woman, X-Antibody. When Digimon, one of your opponent's Digimon gets security -1 or security attack -1 until the end of your opponent's turn. Then, if Anti-Woman or X-Antibody is this Digimon's distribution cards, and you have 5 or fewer security cards, recover +1. Interesting. Gokumon, X-Antibody again. Okay, so this is not the alternative art because we've got 2 of them. Just gonna move it over here. Gaomon, our first super rare. Diva 2 from Black War Greymon. That's interesting. This is supposed to be an evolution of Black War Greymon. Actually, is this Black War Greymon X-Antibody? Interesting. This card, Digimon is also treated as having Greymon in its name. Security attack +1, reboot. When Digimon, if this Digimon has a black Digivolution card, Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon. If this Digimon has red Digivolution card, Blitz. That's pretty good. We want to run a black-red deck. Moving in here. We already had Gasimon, Salamon, Leomon, Grizzlymon, Flare Rock Soul, Salamon, X-Antibody, Pegasmon, Digivolve 2 from Patamon, Armor Purge, and when Digimon, one of your opponent's Digimon gets security attack -1 until the end of your opponent's turn. That's pretty cool. Another Himekawa. Pokemon, you may trash one card in your hand to have this Digimon get +1000 DP for the turn. Raguelmon, rare. On play one purple yellow Digimon with 6000 DP or less from your trash without paying its memory cost. If you're one of fewer security cards, you may play one level 6 or lower Digimon card with Angel or Fallen Angel in its traits from your trash without paying its memory cost instead. During the end of turn, you may DNA Digivolve this Digimon and one of your other Digimon in play into Digimon card in your hand for its DNA Digivolution cost. Dino Rexmon. For each tamer your opponent has in play, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon and gain 1 memory. When opponent's Digimon with 6000 DP or less becomes suspended, you may delete that Digimon. Oh, that's powerful. That's powerful indeed. And let's get in here. Chaos Gamamon, I have Gorgon, Greymon X-Antibody, Attack of Heavy Mobile, Tested Jellymon, Pillamon, Starting Thunder. X Program, while you have a Digimon with Dex or Def X in its name in play, you may use this card without meeting its color requirements. You may delete one Digimon without X-Antibody in its traits. If there are 3 or more Digimon in play, delete all Digimon without X-Antibody in their trait instead. Oh, so that's like, can kill anything that isn't Oh right, the X program is the virus that the X-Antibody protects against. Okay, got it. Delete one of your opponent's Digimon without X-Antibody in its traits. This is interesting because this is a card you can use in almost any... Well, you can only use in Dex or Def X decks, I guess. because it has a color requirement, but you can use it any deck that has a white Digimon in it, or white Tamer. It's interesting because I think there are better kill cards than this, especially because it doesn't work against any X-Antibody decks, which there's gonna be a lot of going forward. It doesn't work as well against X-Antibody decks. Here's Daigo that I've been talking about. He's the guy with the Bearmon as his partner. Also, when an opponent's Digimon becomes unsuspended during a main phase, you may suspend this team to gain 1 memory. Your turn. When one of your Digimon digivolves into a black level 6 Digimon against blocker until the end of your opponent's turn. Pretty cool. Kuromon. While this Digimon has Agumon or Greymon in its name, it gets plus 1000 DP. Okay, that is probably not being picked up by the microphone, but if it is, I'm sorry. I forgot to close the window earlier, but it's also good to get some air circulation, so I'll probably just keep it like that for now. Start of your turn, he has the standard memory control. Your turn, when you attack with a Digimon that has Jellymon in its name or level 5 or higher, if you have 7 or fewer cards in hand, you may suspend this tamer to draw 1. I could imagine this guy being used in a lot of decks going forward, especially because Hero was really was relevant in the previous format. So yeah, or in the previous meta, just because it was very splashable and has like memory, and this card is equally splashable, to be honest. So yeah, Digimon, a super rare. DNA Digivolve 0 from 2 level 6 Digimon. When DNA Digivolving, delete one of your opponent's level 6 or higher Digimon and all of their level 5 or lower Digimon. For each Digimon deleted by this effect, recovery +1. On deletion, you may trash the top card of your security to play this card without paying its memory cost. So that's pretty nasty, it keeps coming back. That's probably not very fun to fight against, I could imagine. There would be some pressure on the opponent. Ninjamon, Gatchmon X-Antibody, Sanglupmon, Samuelmon, Divermon, Minecraft, Lodaliomon, Nefertimon. Armor Purge, when attacking, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 2000 DP for the turn. It's pretty okay. Fujimon, hand, main, if you have Digimon with Justimon or Raidenmon in its name in play, you may pay 1 memory to place this card under the Digimon as its bottom Digivolution card. When Digivolving, you may trash 1 Digimon card with Machine or Cyborg Illustrate in your hand to suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. As inherited, when attacking, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon with 5000 DP or less. That Digimon doesn't unsuspend during your opponent's next unsuspend phase. Sujinmon, hand. If you have Digimon with Justimon or Raidenmon in its name, you may pay 1 memory to place this card under that Digimon as a bottom Digivolution card. When Digimon, you may trash this Digimon card. You may trash 1 Digimon card with Machine or Cyborg Illustrate in your hand to place one of your opponent's level 4 lower Digimon at the bottom of its owner's deck. When attacking, return one of your opponent's level 4 lower Digimon to its owner's hand. Another Kiyoshiro, Mimi and Joe. Start of your turn, spend as a spent Digimon in play, gain 1 memory. If your opponent has a spent Digimon in play, gain 1 memory. All turns, when one of your green or blue Digimon deletes an opponent's Digimon in battle and survives, you may suspend this team to draw a card. Not bad. Going further down. Awakening of the Golden Knight, Ebidramon, Raptordramon, Quagamon, X Evolution, Monochromon, Piranimon, Tumblemon. Opponent's turn, while this Digimon has blocker, it gets plus 1000 DP, not bad for a black baby. Agumon X-Antibody. On play, when Digivolving, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 card with Greymon or Omnimon in its trait, or in its name, and 1 X-Antibody among them to your hand. Place the rest of the bottom deck in any order. Okay, we'll just continue here. Dragmon. On play, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, trash 1 card with Undead or Dark Animal in its traits among them, and add 1 card with Undead or Dark Animal in its traits among them to your hand. Place the rest at the bottom of the deck in any order. When attacking, as inherited, this Digimon may Digivolve into a Digimon card or Undead Dark Animal in its traits from your trash put for its Digivolution cost. That's pretty cool, because that means you can combine it with Matchstormon. Very fitting. Rice Greymon. Grandest Quagamon, the one that's supposed to be used with the promo Grand Quagamon. When Digimon, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, then if this Digimon is attacking, you may switch the target of attack to one of your opponent's suspended Digimon. Your turn, this Digimon gets plus 4000 DP. End of attack. If Grand Quagamon or an X-Antibody is in this Digimon, you can suspend one of your opponent's Digimon and unsuspend this Digimon. Interesting, so it can attack. Sounds like it's super rare. That's pretty cool. Can you please just open? Thank you. Electmon, Starmon. Probably nothing new. And then uncommons. On play, you may trash one card with X-Antibody in its traits. In your hand, draw 2 cards. Doromon. Atomic Mega Blaster, we've already seen that. X-Antibody, already seen that. Sunrise Buster, you may play one yellow or red Tamer card from your hand without paying its memory cost. Then one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 3000 DP for turn. For each yellow and red Tamer you have in play. Cool. Tai Kamiya and Kari Kamiya. Start of your turn, if you have 3 of your security cards, gain 1 memory. If your opponent has 3 of your security cards, gain 1 memory. When one of your red or yellow Digimon attacks, you may spend this Tamer to have all your opponent's security Digimon gets minus 2000 DP for the turn. Not bad. And we're already halfway through the booster box. Cool. Bearmon, Mimikati, Beatramon, Loader Leomon, Eye of the Gorgon, Pumon, Telemon, Kodomon, Grandest Scissor, Magnetramon, X-Antibody. The X-Antibody Magnetron looks so fancy, I swear. Like, I really thought that with how it's been like full art like that, it could look like it was an alternate art. I really thought so when I first saw it. The Fatimon, Fujimon, Shujinmon, Jellymon. Once per turn, when you play a blue Tamer, draw 1. Your turn, once per turn, when an effect adds a card to your hand, return one of your opponent's level 3 Digimon to its owner's hands. And a Dynarexmon. Getting in here. Def X Devolution, Monochromon, Piranmon. And here comes the uncommons. Already seen it. Sunrise Buster, we already seen it. Magnamon X-Antibody, nice! We got this one. Opponent's turn, when an opponent's Digimon attacks, if a card with armor form in its traits or X-Antibody in this card's Digivolution cards, you may switch the target of attack to this Digimon. Interesting, so it has kind of a blocker effect. All turns, when this Digimon would be deleted, you may place the top card of this Digimon on top of your security. You may place the top card of this Digimon on top of security stack face down to prevent that deletion. Is that the top card of this Digimon? So that is Magnamon X-Antibody. So that's kind of like Armor Purge. Interesting, very interesting. But it's X-Antibody Purge because you have an armor underneath it. If you probably have an armor underneath it. Okay. Garurumon X-Antibody, Starmon. There's probably no new comments at this point. I don't know if there's going to be any new uncommons at this point. Greatmon! Haven't we already have Greymon down here somewhere? In the beginning, I think we already had Greymon. Give me a moment. Yeah, we already had Greymon. And Rockwellmon, we already had Rockwellmon. So, moving on to the next booster. The commons, the uncommons. Borgramon X-Antibody. When devolving until the end of your opponent's turn, 2 of the Digimon gain on deletion lose 1 memory. Then if Walk or X-Antibody in this Digimon distribution cards, choose any number of your opponent's Digimon whose total DP adds up to 6,000 or less and delete them. Then there's Grand Dragmon. Another rare. When Digimon, you may play one purple level 3 Digimon card from your trash without paying its memory cost. End of attack, once per turn. You may Digivolve one of your other Digimon into a Digimon card with Undead or Dark Animal in its trade from your trash without paying its memory cost. Okay. I think it's just, they just have fancier arts for the rares these days. Looking at this one also kind of looks like it could have been an alternate in a previous set, but it's just fancy. It's just a fancy regular art, interestingly. Metal Greymon X-Antibody. Another rare. When Digimon, this Digimon gains security +1 until the end of your opponent's turn. Then if this Digimon has Metal Greymon or X-Antibody in its Digivolution cards, this Digimon gets plus 3000 DP until the end of your opponent's next turn. That's pretty powerful. What are we down to? The last 6 boosters, I think. Common. Uncommons. Alphamon! When Digivolve, place one card with X-Antibody in its trade from your trash under this Digimon as the bottom Digivolution card. Your turn, once per turn. When an effect places a Digivolution card under this Digimon, Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon. Mekumon. Security. At the end of battle, play this Digimon without paying its cost. Under these, if this Digimon has 2 or more colors, gain 2 memory. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. Dexterugamon. This one is super rare. When Digivolving, if this Digimon has Dorugoramon in its Digivolution cards, or it's Digivolving from the trash, delete all of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest level. Unleash, you may play one purple or black level 3 Digimon card from your trash without paying its memory cost. If you have 5 or more cards with Dex or DefX in the names in trash, you may play one DefXmon from your hand, or not from your hand, from your trash without paying its memory cost instead. That's pretty powerful. No wonder DefXmon was relevant in the Japanese meta. Okay. Going through the comments again. Uncommons. We get a lot of Jellymons. This is an alternate Greatmon. Which looks pretty cool. Not gonna lie. So yeah. Down here, a few uncommons, we already seen them. Dino Tigermon! When attacking, if a card with Leomon in its name or X-Antibody in this Digimon distribution card, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers. Once per turn, when an opponent's Digimon or Tamer becomes suspended, unsuspend this Digimon. Raidenmon! On play, when Digivolving, place one Raidenmon, Fujinmon, and Sujimon from trash under this Digimon in any order as its bottom Digivolution cards. Gain 1 memory for each card placed. When attacking, if a level 6 card in this Digimon Distribution cards have 3 or more colors among them, this Digimon gets plus 3000 DP until the end of your opponent's next turn, or your opponent's turn. If they have 4 or more colors, Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon. Not next turn, just their turn. Big difference. That said, still powerful. Sanglupmon. And here we have the commons. We have the uncommons, again nothing new. Middle Impulse, already seen that. Another super rare, Omnimon Merciful Mode. When Digimon for each card with Mega in their trait in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, delete one of your opponent's Digimon, then place 10 cards from your opponent's trash at the bottom of the deck in any order. This is mean against Lilithmon. Start your turn, trash the top card of this Digimon. If you do, trash the top card of your opponent's security stack. Interesting. So it can't be around for that long, but it will leave an impression. That might have been our last high rare, but we'll find out in a second. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, nothing new there. Alphamon. It wasn't! We also got Glandmon X-Antibody. It's interesting because there weren't a lot of high res on this side. We got a lot of them on this side of the booster. That happens sometimes. When Digimon delete one of your opponent's Digimon with lowest DP. If no Digimon is deleted by this effect, unsuspend this Digimon. Your turn once a turn. When an opponent's Digimon is deleted, if Glandmon or X-Antibody is in this Digimon to the rune card, trash the top card of your opponent's security stack. Cool. So let's have a look at what we got again. Got Galamon X-Antibody, Omnimon Mercifulmon, Greatmon Altanard, Dex Dorogoromon, Magnamon X-Antibody, Grandus Quagamon, Ordinmon, Gaomon, and Death X-Mon, the secret rare. So yeah, that's some pretty good pulls. That was fun. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that, and on that I guess I will be spawning out. Bye!